Okay, and we're not live, so we're recording from this point. And then if y'all see the little eyeball that popped up on there, of course you can see how many people are on or joining at a time.
Mhm.
Did y'all have school visits today? Anybody?
Nope, we got some people on the live.
Hey everyone. Give us a few minutes as more people start to roll in. We'll get started, but while we're waiting, can you let us know who you are? If you're a high schooler, a parent, community member, whatever the case may be, drop that in the chat so we know who we're talking to or who's watching right now. But Joe, you were saying you joined a school. You had a visit today.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I actually had two visits today. So I went to CMA. They had a senior town hall, and then I also went to Marygrove to talk to the seniors there. It was really cool.
Oh, cool. Okay, we got two people on the live right now. If you're still the same people that was on there, definitely let us know whether or not you're a high schooler. If you're a Detroit Promise member watching, let us know who's on the live right now.
Not everybody type at once.
You might win something too. So come on, drop your name in the chat.
Yeah, we have some raffles, some Detroit Promise items we'll be giving out for, who's the most active. You have a parent. Okay.
Hi,
Are you
Kevin.
a high school? Hey, Kevin, go ahead, Nia.
Oh, are you a high school parent? Just for high school? Yes. No. Oh, okay. I'm in 12th grade. Okay, we got a 12th grader.
Hey, cool. What school you go to? Do you go to?
And then we still got about 3 more people that haven't said anything. Drop your name in the chat. Are you a parent? Are you a student? Sydney. Okay. Hey, Sydney.
Hey, Sydney.
Hey. So you're one of our current Detroit Promise students. Okay, we got a senior from MLK. Cool. And if you already coming into this live with questions, definitely start dropping those in the comments and we can get those answered for you as soon as possible. Hey, Instagram followers. Let us know who's on this live right now. If you are a high schooler, a parent, current Detroit Promise student, definitely let us know.
We could probably go ahead and get started with introductions. Y'all want to do that?
Okay, she works at a college. Great. Yep.
Oh, hi, Emerald. Yes, I was at your school yesterday. I guess I can get started. Or Christine, you want to go first?
Yeah, I can get us started.
Okay.
So hey everyone, my name is Christine Rogers. I am the manager for K-12 Outreach and Engagement. And a little bit about me. So I'm from Detroit. I was raised in Detroit. I graduated from University Prep High School. And I went to University of Michigan Ann Arbor. So go Blue if y'all watch that game, with Michigan State, we just won. But definitely happy to be here to answer any questions that you all have.
Hi, everybody. My name is Nia Little, high school outreach coordinator for Detroit Promise. I actually went to Renaissance High School, graduated in 2016, and then I went on to Bowling Green State University where I received my bachelor's in science. So now I'm here working for Detroit Promise, and I love it. And I'll pass it on to Joe.
Hey, everybody. My name is Joe Cunningham, high school outreach coordinator with the Detroit Promise. I'm also from Detroit and also went to Renaissance High School, graduated in 2015. And then I also went off to Bowling Green State University, got my bachelor's in health science, and then went to Duke University to get my master's degree in biomedical sciences. So I'm happy to be here tonight. Then I'll pass it over to Amrita.
Hi everyone, my name is Amrita Das. I went to Cass Technical High School, graduated in 2014, and then like Christine, I went to U of M Ann Arbor. I got my bachelor's in international studies, and then I got my master's of science and information. And I'm also a coordinator for high school outreach for the Detroit Promise.
And we see your comment, Karen, I think it's Karen Smith. I'm not sure if the name is backwards. Actually, when we get into our presentation, we'll actually be answering some of those questions that you have. We'll just give a little bit more time for more people to come in. So if you've came in and you didn't drop your name in the chat, please drop your name, where you're from, what school you go to. If you're a parent or a student, we would love to know. And they may also enter you in to win a prize. So make sure that you drop your first and last name in the chat for us. And then I guess we can probably just get started with discussing Detroit Promise. So our first thing is,
So
go ahead, Christine.
yeah. Okay, so the first thing is, what is the Detroit Promise? And Nia, you can take us away with answering that.
Okay, so Detroit Promise, if you do not know, I know that our students hear this over and over again, but we want you to remember, Detroit Promise is a tuition-free path for students to go off to a university, a community college, or a skilled trade. The skilled trade does have to be at one of our partnering community colleges. I don't want to answer too many questions already. I want to give Joe and Amrita a chance to pitch in too about these things, but just to keep it in simplest terms, we will pay for your students' tuition and mandatory fees to go off to one of our partnering schools.
In terms of who can apply right now, 9th through 12th graders can apply on the website. It'll be at detroitpromise.com/apply. And students should be using their personal emails when applying. Sometimes students mistake and use their school emails, so make sure to use your personal emails. And after completing the application online, students can use those personal emails and passwords that they created to apply to re-log into their account, and that's where they can upload any documents that we need in the future, especially for seniors.
In terms of where you can use the Detroit Promise, we partner with 32 institutions across the state of Michigan. So you could either have a community college path where you earn a 2-year associate's degree, or as Nia said, earn a skilled trade certificate, or either going out the university path and getting a 4-year bachelor's degree. And just some examples of the colleges that we partner with. Some of our community colleges include Henry Ford, Oakland, Macomb, St. Clair, WC3. And then some of the universities that we actually work with include Michigan State, University of Michigan, Central, Albion College, Alma College, University of Olivet. So it includes a lot of institutions across the state of Michigan, but you cannot use the Detroit Promise scholarship for out-of-state schools. That's a question that we get often.
And then I would just like to touch on too, so in order to utilize Detroit Promise, students must go straight into a university. So if they want to go to some of the schools that Joe named that we partner with in our university portion, they will have to immediately go to that university upon graduating from high school. So there's no gap years allowed. Unfortunately, they have to start in the fall. And then if it is a student who is interested in going to community college or that skilled trade route, they have until the age of 24, but I will say back 2013, students from 2013 can still utilize that community college portion and skilled trades portion of our scholarship. So that's something important to know. If you have any students who are still interested in that, they definitely still will be eligible as long as they live in Detroit and graduate from a Detroit high school. I don't think we went into that, but just to get specifically into that, students must graduate from Detroit high school. If they are planning to attend a community college, they have to live in Detroit that junior and senior year and then graduate from a Detroit high school at that point. And there's no other requirements that go along with that. And then for our university portion, students must live in Detroit all 4 years of high school and then graduate from a Detroit high school as well. And there are some additional requirements as far as that. Fortunately, we can say that there are no exam score requirements right now. So a lot of our schools are, well, all of our schools are actually test optional. So we appreciate that. And then the GPA portion of that, the highest GPA that students need is a 3.0, and that's at majority of our schools that we partner with. And then the lowest GPA is a 2.0, and that is at Cleary University. And then there's some schools in between there that have 2.5, 2.7, 2.8 requirements, but that can all be found specifically at our website, and it'll give you a breakdown of all the requirements that students need at those schools. I saw that we had a question. So can they do a skill trade in the summer of graduation? I know that we do allow, we do cover summer classes for community college. So that path, I would say yes. As far as university, we do not. So if students want to take summer classes at a university, we will not cover that. So that will have to come out of their own pockets, unfortunately, or additional financial aid. And then I think Christine was gonna pop back in real quick.
Yep. So everyone's question was answered already in the chat. So move on to the next thing.
Mhm.
Okay. Was it your promise? So I think we should maybe do a raffle. Let's see who's still on here right now. So if you're still here, just drop Detroit Promise in the comments. Let's see who can drop that in there first. Detroit Promise, and whoever drops that first will coordinate getting you a Detroit Promise swag bag. So it'll be a duffel bag, sweatshirt, and some other things that I don't want to tell y'all because it's a secret. But drop Detroit Promise in there. We can make sure that y'all get a duffel bag full of Detroit Promise items.
All right, I see Jessica. Jessica dropped it first.
Okay, so I see 2 people. So send us a DM with your first and last name, and we'll make sure that you get your items. Especially if you're a student, we can drop it off at your school. If you're not a student, we'll figure out how to get that to you. Probably mail it. So we have 2 students on Instagram who just dropped their name, and then Jessica will be our winner on this side from Facebook. But no problem. I'm happy this information was helpful. Okay, so moving on. So kind of went over like what the Detroit Promise is, what we cover, things like that. What are some things that seniors should be doing right now to secure their Detroit Promise?
Seniors right now should be applying for the colleges that they want to attend, whatever college that they're interested in. Our partner colleges are posted on our website. If you go to our website, DetroitPromise.com, there's a high school section on the top of the page. And if you're interested in community colleges, that will lead you to all of our partner community colleges. And if you're interested in university students, universities, then that will be on there too. There are 32 partner colleges that we work with, and all of them are posted on our website. And some of these colleges do waive application fees too. So make sure to inquire about that with your counselor, and they'll be able to provide you waive you those application fees. And in addition to our scholarship, you should be applying to additional scholarships that are around. We only cover tuition and mandatory fees, so room and board is left if you're planning to stay on campus. And there's also textbook scholarships out there that are available. I have a note that Western Michigan has a room and board scholarship for Detroit students, so make sure to look into that as well. I'm also going to put in the chat some scholarships that I know of that you can apply to as well. So feel free to look at those.
Yeah, and then something additional that seniors should also be doing, and senior parents, I should say that, is being prepared that FAFSA will be changing this year. So FAFSA, if you have a student, if any parents are still on the line, if you have a student that previously was that's in school currently, you may have did FAFSA a totally different way when they started. So just know that the FAFSA is changing this year. So they've kind of made it a little bit more complicated. So just being aware of what those changes are and make sure that you are ahead of the game as far as the new FAFSA that will be rolling out in December. We don't have a scheduled date yet exactly when FAFSA will be opening up, but it will be in December. And then also making sure that you are going ahead and creating your FSA ID, your FAFSA ID. That is something that can be created ahead of time. And then again, the next thing is just making sure that your senior or a senior that is on the line, making sure that you are paying attention to your email, as we will be sending out notifications that verification has been open for Detroit Promise. So verification will be running from November. I don't want to say November 1st, but sometime in November until about May 1st, June 1st. And at that time, we'll be asking for our seniors to upload their transcripts and their admissions letter. So again, as Amrita stated before, it is essential that students are applying for not Detroit Promise, for their college that they are interested in, because they must have that admissions letter as well. And then if students have a GPA of, let's say, above a 3.0, you know it won't fall below that, you can get that transcript uploaded as soon as possible when verification is opening. And then I see we have some questions in the chat, so I'll go back to Karen's question. I think she says summer classes are only allowed in community college. Yes, so we will only fund those summer classes for a community college, not for a university. And then I think we had another question on what tax return years are required for FAFSA. So I believe it will be the previous tax year. So the parents' previous tax year that they filed. Yep. And let me see. I think I covered everything as far as what seniors should be doing. Do we have any questions, any additional questions that we can answer right now in the chat? I'm going to go back up to, I want to say, whose question? So I know you said Emerald was accepted to college. What's the next step so that her funds will be applied to her tuition? So the next step will be what I just kind of talked about. So it'll be that verification piece. So remembering to check the emails because we will be sending out when verification will be opening in November. And again, that will be open until about May 1st, June 1st. And she will have to upload her admissions letter and her transcript. And that is all. Do we have some more questions popping up? And so yes, both parents, there's different requirements. I don't really want to go too much into FAFSA as much, but depending on where the student lives, yes, both parents will have to submit their information for FAFSA. And then we have another question. Do you have to demonstrate financial need? Is there a minimum SAT score to be eligible? So we do not look at financial need at all. So Detroit Promise, our application, if you do go onto our website, you'll see that our application will only take about 5 minutes. It's just really kind of simple information. We're just looking for the address to make sure that students do live in Detroit. And that's about it. We do ask for parent information, but not details. So it'll be like your phone number, your email, things like that. So no financial information is needed for our application. And again, there's no SAT score, so no exam scores are required for any of our colleges at this time. And then does somebody else want to answer the other questions that have came in? So will we have to do the Detroit Promise every year?
Yeah, I'll be able to answer that question. The student, it's a one-time application. They don't have to reapply for the Detroit Promise while they're in college, but they will have to reapply for the FAFSA each year for that financial aid. So that's something to keep in mind. And another question, Emerald received an acceptance by email. Do you need a letter on school letterhead? I'm not sure about the actual school letterhead part, but we will be asking Emerald to upload their stuff to their profile on the Detroit Promise website. No problem, Jessica.
Yep. So additionally for that letter, if that letter came in by mail, it's in paper form, she could just take a picture of it and just upload that picture to her verification, to her files portion of her profile for Detroit Promise. Any more questions at this time? I think we have just a few more things to cover.
I don't see any remaining questions. So I'll talk a little bit about what's expected, or if you're a junior, or what you need to do on the Detroit Promise side if you're a junior. I remember seeing in the chat, we do have one from, was it UPSM? So shout out to UPSM. And so for juniors, what it looks like right now is really just kind of like exploring your college options. Now is the time for research and just kind of like moving around on the internet trying to see what programs or what types of paths you're interested in doing. Like we have said before, there is a skilled trade path available at our community colleges, or majoring in something at a university, or starting out with a major at a community college. So there's many options available on our website. We have links to our partnering institutions where you could take a look at the available course catalogs for those schools that's available for the semester, and really just kind of get a feel for what your options are moving forward for what you want to study or what you want to pursue. And right now is really the time to really just take advantage of still being in high school and not having that last year come up. And really it's the time to talk with, the people at your school who's there to support you, those that are in your corner, like your counselor, your teachers. Those individuals are going to give you some really good insight on what it looks like to move past high school, and they'll be there to kind of like help you activate your dreams. So lean on them and ask questions as much as you can so you can figure out what the future may look like for you. In addition to that, it's also a really, really good time to apply and identify additional scholarships. That's not just the Detroit Promise Scholarship. We've said the same thing, for the seniors, but it's never too early to start on something, especially when it comes to college, especially when it comes to having money for college, because things can get expensive really, really fast. And the more scholarships and more financial aid you have, it'll be better for you in the long run. And if it's possible, you also want to definitely make sure to try and line up some like internships during the summer, or have some summer jobs available so you can build those skills that'll definitely help you as you transition into the college community or into the workforce, if after the skilled trade program. So you want to make sure that you're applying or researching on ways that you can expand your skill set, so that you're best prepared. And if y'all have any questions about that, we'll definitely be able to answer them.
Yes. And then we have some additional questions that have popped up. So is there a contact person that works with Detroit Promise at Oakland Community College? And how about Henry Ford Community College? So we didn't really touch on this, but for our community college portion, we actually have coaches at all 7 of our community colleges at this time. So if your student decides to go off to a community college, they will have a coach that will be helping them with just about anything. And then they'll also receive a $50 stipend for meeting with their coach 2 times a month. So that's something that is very important, as we have some students, who are first generation college students. So helping them get acclimated onto that campus, that's what that coach is there for. So yes, we do have some contact people for Oakland Community College and Henry Ford Community College that your students can be working with if they decide to go off to one of those community colleges. If you want to reach out through us through our info is info@detroitpromise.com. If you need if you have some more additional questions about that community college portion, if you want to get connected to our community college coordinator as well. And then the other question is, my son has been accepted into 3 Michigan universities so far. Do we have to select a university now to be eligible for Detroit Promise? So you on our application will ask like what university a student is interested, or what school a student is interested in. It does not have to be that school that they are that is going to be their final decision, they can always upload an admissions letter for a different school that they are going to be attending. So you don't have to select like a final decision right now. You definitely still have time to make that decision. Do we have any more questions? Any more? Then I think we are giving away something for, I'm going to see, we're giving away something for what school is represented the most. So can everybody drop what school your student is from or you are from? Drop that information. We want to see what schools are represented in the chat. And then please feel free to continue to drop questions if you have them. Oh, we got Detroit International Academy. We love that. Love it there. Love it there. Any more? MLK. Okay. PSM. I'm not seeing multiple at one school. Southeastern. Okay. I was just at Southeastern on Monday. Right. All right. Well, I think that's all we have. I don't know if Christine wanted to add something additional.
Nope. I think we covered the requirements, some of our partnering schools, things seniors should be doing right now. Did we mention the college application fee waivers?
Yeah, so Rita mentioned it. I meant to say that we actually have them on our Instagram. So we have some of those fee waivers actually posted onto our Instagram at this time. So if you have our Instagram, it's just Detroit Promise. You can go onto there and there should be a post. I want to say, I don't know what day it was, but it should be somewhere up there at the top. And you'll have to slide over and it'll show all the fee waivers that we do have at this time.
Cool. Any last minute questions for Detroit Promise?
I don't think so.
Okay. Cool. So if you don't have any questions right now, even if you think of something after the fact, you can shoot us a DM. You can email us. Can someone drop our email in the chat?
It's
at info@detroitpromise.com.
Yeah,
and we'll be more than happy to answer any of your follow-up questions.
Yep.
Thank y'all so much for taking time out of y'all evening to join us on the live and come and talk with us.
You have a good day too. Thank you.
Yes, and you guys will be seeing more of us. Your students will be seeing more of us in their schools.
Yes, make sure to check out our my bad.
Oh, Karen has a question.
Yes, Karen has a
What's
question.
that question?
So they asked, how long is the process? So I don't want to say like a specific timeline or anything, but the first step is definitely making sure the students are applying. And then again, as we stated before, verification will be opening up in November until about May 1st. And then after that, we'll be going through and actually doing our verification of the students' transcript and admissions letter. That second step is after we verify, it goes on to the college. They must verify. That can sometimes take a few weeks for colleges to verify. But then after that step is done, students will get a notification. So I believe this year they'll get a notification for denial and accepted now. So we'll be sending out those emails after the college has verified students. So time span, I really can't say because sometimes the colleges take a little bit longer.
Yeah, most definitely. But do rest assured that if you know you lived in Detroit 9th through 12th grade year, you went to a Detroit high school 9th through 12th grade year, you meet the GPA for the school that you're applying to, you're going to get the Detroit Promise. It's just a matter of when that college verifies, of course, that final part on their side. But rest assured, it's not a competitive scholarship, so you're not competing with other students to get it. That if you know you're eligible for it, then you'll get the scholarship.
I think something that we really didn't touch on either, it can be found on our website, but I do want to note that some of our schools are limited and some of them are unlimited. So it's important to check out what schools are limited, because if you're a student or if you are a student that is interested in one of our schools that is limited, it's important that you get those verification documents in as soon as possible, because those spots are very limited. I will say at Central
CCS.
Michigan is like 25 students are accepted. University of Detroit Mercy, 10 students. Previously it was 5. So that's just something to know if you do want to have a spot at one of those schools and be able to utilize Detroit Promise, that those verification documents do have to be in early. Yep, if we don't have any more questions.
If you get all your documents, like I said, if you get all your documents in early, like I said, you wouldn't necessarily have to worry about that. It's usually for those students who are kind of waiting towards the end who have to worry about whether or not they wouldn't get it for even those limited schools. It's only 6 schools. So as long as you get it in early, you should be good for the most part. Of any student, like for example, for University of Detroit Mercy, who has like a lower number, if they were interested in that school, we definitely will let them know whether or not it was full when they apply.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, thank you all. And once again, if you have any other questions, send us a DM or email us at info@detroitpromise.com.
Thank you, everybody. Thanks for
Bye.
tuning in. And we'll make sure that everybody gets their raffle item.
Yes. Also, let me screenshot that too while we're still on here. Okay. Jessica. Okay. I think I got them all.
All right. Thanks, everybody. See you guys later.
I can't end.